The Quick Diz Takes podcast is a Quick Diz Takes production.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Hello, I'm Michael Eisner.
Oh boy! Welcome back to episode 2 of the Aloha Ears interview. We now resume with Steven talking about meeting Dr. Emmett Brown at a Universal theme park.
And my brother goes, go take a photo with him. And he goes, you want to take a picture? I went, oh, okay, take the photo. The guy went, oh, okay. That's what he said.
It's awesome.
Lindsay, you are a never-ending stream of impersonations. I miss it. Oh, so good.
It was the best when he was assigned as the parrot in my room because I knew that there would be no learning that day. Well, no curriculum learning.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. There's learning.
They would learn about something, but it wouldn't be curriculum. It'd be a good day.
It'll just be voices all the time. And I'm actually upset that they didn't have like a tryout to be the new Kermit.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of a new voice. I'm not going to lie to you.
I can't get, because, I grew up on the other Kermit, the
real Kermit?
Mr. Scrooge. The bookkeepers were wondering if we could have more coal for the fire.
Holy crap, dude. You're so good at that.
Do you remember this from boot camp?
I mean, it's been a while since boot camp, Dana, but that's amazing.
Lindsay always made me get in trouble because he was cracking me up all the time because he was doing his impersonations over there. Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's what you grew up on, Welcome to my, please put your hands together and welcome the musical stylings of Miss Lady Gaga. Yeah!
Oh my gosh, dude, that's amazing. You should have been Kermit. I agree.
Yeah, I'm saying I should have been Kermit. And like when I teach civics, I do impressions of the presidents.
Civics a la Lindsay.
What's that?
Civics a la Lindsay.
Yes.
What?
Civics all Lindsay.
Everything's
Oh,
fine.
yes. Yeah. Sorry.
I want to hear your Donald Trump.
Oh gosh.
I don't know. That's
It's supposed to be a nice
I just want to say, this is the greatest podcast of all time. It really is great. You know what
Stop it, it's gross. I like it.
the greatest impersonation. The best. You'll never find an impersonation better than him.
Yeah.
Okay, funny story about Lindsay really quick. So when we were in boot camp, we used to do this impersonation of our senior chief Ruxer. He had the strongest Boston accent in the entire world. And Lindsay used to come up to me and pretend to be Senior Chief Ruxer. I thought he was right behind me every single time. And ironically now, Senior Chief Ruxer is a ferry boat driver in the Magic Kingdom.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I could just
Oh,
imagine.
now we need to request him.
I could just imagine you're on the ferry, and all of a sudden you hear, "Hey everyone, welcome to the Magic Kingdom. Make sure you got all your bags and your kids. Everyone just have a magical day."
It's like he's here in the room with us.
Like Roz.
So I got
Always watching Wazowski.
so I got to impersonate him in front of him, and I'm thinking,
That's
great,
dangerous.
I haven't even graduated boot camp. I'm gonna make fun of a chief, senior chief. So I'm doing the whole hey Mooney, why don't you have some salad? I'm doing the whole impersonation, and I kind of glance over and I hear him go to our company commander, go, "Hey Bales, holy crap, the kids got me down pretty good."
Close one.
That's awesome.
Crisis averted.
So good. So good. Oh man. I have never been so nervous than when that one day the first day we ran into him, we walked off a rock and roller coaster, and I saw Lindsay actually first. I knew it was him. It was a spider web tattoo on his elbow.
Yeah.
And I was like, no freaking way. There's no way that it's him. And he walked over and he was like, I'm not gonna do it. He was a carpenter. I was like, oh my gosh, bleep, a bunch of really inappropriate words came out of my mouth. Then he saw Phillip behind me, and he said a bunch of inappropriate words after that.
Yeah.
All the words. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Disney's the place for 4-letter words.
So graduation day, one of the parents went up to him and went, oh, we've seen that, you know, the video of you, you know, like a billion times, because there's video on YouTube, like showing how boot camp is. And he goes, yeah, when they told me there was a video of me on the internet, and I went, is it Key West? Oh, Coast Guard thing. Oh, okay. Oh. Right? And then my sister was like a little, like a little hesitant. He goes, oh, honey, come on, I'm a cupcake. Come here, have a photo. It's okay.
Oh no.
So that was hysterical.
We did have a battery if you want to come get your sorry. Leave
And oh, by the way, one quick thing. So I got to do impressions when we graduated boot camp. So last year I graduate Rocky, right? And got my career. I got to do Clinton, George W., Obama, and Trump.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
I did all four for everyone. And I mean, like, had a microphone.
Oh my gosh.
And was basically doing a whole thing improv for everybody.
So worst case scenario, what I'm hearing is if Hall of Presidents goes down, it can be the one-man Lanzi show, and it'll be fine.
Well, look. What we
I
got to
think
do?
you might get paid better to do the one-man show.
But I reject this notion that somehow we can't come together and, you know, have a good podcast.
Dude, do you like practice these? Like,
Yeah.
or is it just something that just like came to you one day? You're just like really good at it.
Certain voices I can do right away.
Yeah.
Others take time. So like when I was doing Obama, it took me almost 5 years of him being president because it kept going to Kermit.
Go read that one.
But there's something called
Mama the Frog here.
Hi ho, well, welcome to the press conference, and we are going to bomb North Korea, believe it or not.
I feel you should learn like something the children like Cardi B. They listen to her whole lesson. Like, why? I mean, that might be controversial. I don't know. You're in a kind of a better district right now, but
it's tough. I need to like get. Well, the good thing with civics is that the presidents run right into it. But I'll when I practice, I'll just be driving, like I'll be stuck in traffic. I'll be like, you know, this never happened when I was president. I don't know why we have traffic. You know, if people knew how to drive, we can get going.
Just
road rage.
Just please tell me you don't incorporate any Kermit into your Holocaust class.
Oh god.
We have talked a lot about how epic having the Muppets redo any kind of
any movie would be, and just that Schindler's List.
Muppets taking over horror movies, like the Michael Myers in the Halloween series. We've talked about them taking over like Star Wars and how much more epic it would be to get into this franchise.
Oh, so much better.
But certain movies probably should not.
Probably not.
No.
Yep.
Might be
Boy with a Striped Pajama. You do a remake as the Muppets. That might not.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like we've really taken this way off course from where you guys wanted it to be. I don't know.
But we still talk Disney, so it's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, yeah, we'll bring it back. So,
Johnson, come on, guys.
what like we'll go with your Aloha Ears. What was the thing that like made you decide to
Sparked that.
go with the ears?
Do you want to tell I'll tell the first part. You can tell the second
Sure.
part. How about that?
Yeah.
So when we took our first trip, Philip's first trip, I really wanted to like make custom Mickey Mouse ears for myself. I didn't want to buy the park ones. I wanted to be the cool kid. And so I made really janky fabric ears because I have zero skills at sewing. It's absolute zero. So I made janky fabric ears. I was super proud of them. And Philip was like, well, I'm going to get you a new sewing machine because that one is terrible. And so he got me a new sewing machine, made them a little less janky, enough to be sewable.
I
And
can
so,
sew.
Yeah, Philip is very
Ironically.
good at sewing.
Alright.
You had to just put that in there for
Yeah.
yourself, didn't you?
That's why I was like, this sewing machine is crap. You need at least something.
It was
good.
like $1 at a garage sale. It's fine. Okay, moving on. I started selling them. I sold like 4 pairs of my fabric ears. I was like, I'm big time. This is so cool. And then I realized that wire ears were a thing. And so I started making wire ears. And what really took off was actually a pair of Hey Hey ears that I had made. And since we lived in Hawaii, especially, it just kind of started off. And so we started the Aloha Ears design, or actually back then it was Aloha Ears Boutique. We were so boutique. I started selling those like crazy. And then we took our first trip. And wearing those wire ears, backstory on me, I am the biggest klutz in the entire world. I literally have had like 9 concussions. It's no big deal. And I hit my head on everything. And so getting off a Disney bus, I smacked my ears and my head on the door and dented them. And they were just toast.
And granted, we flew from Hawaii and like kept these wire ears like all perfect
Intact.
the whole way there. And then like the first day she runs into a door and they're just like ruined. Yeah. She's like trying to like bend them back and it just looked terrible.
Done.
And at the time I had a 3D printer to make car parts, ironically. And so when we got home, I was like, hey, like, why don't I make you some that are 3D printed? I bet you they'd hold up a lot better.
And so we started just kind of messing around with that. And we had one printer and it took us like 4 hours to print the first pair. And so we were like, I think we could do this. I think we could sell it. Started posting pictures on social media. People were freaking out. No one had done 3D printed ears before. It was like this whole new game that we had accidentally kind of created. And on Valentine's Day of 2017, we had our first opening. We sold, was it 38 pairs of ears?
Yeah.
In 14 minutes. And I passed out on the floor from excitement.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Is that your earlier goal? I was doing construction and I was like, we need to do something to get you out of construction. We need to come up with a business that would work for ourselves. And that was like the start of
it all, like, if Dana, that story makes it kind of sound like it was accidental, but in all reality, like we had tried a lot of different businesses, because I like Dana said, I own a contracting business in Hawaii, but just very unhappy. And so we tried so many different things and a lot of failures. And this one you would have asked me like, hey, like you're going to make Mickey Mouse ears like in a couple of years and that's going to be your full-time job. I would have just like laughed my butt off. I'm like, yeah, right. Like, no way. And so it wasn't what I expected, but we were looking for a big life change and it kind of happened through something we both ended up really loving, which was really cool. And so, yeah, sold the construction business and that's what we do now.
And we've been doing it for 5 years full time.
Yeah.
Now, which is insane.
That's awesome though.
Yeah. It's been really fun.
Now, are there certain images that you guys can't make, like for copyright purposes, or are you limited a little bit?
So we get this question a lot, actually.
Yeah, definitely limited. And for me, it's not that big of a deal for like as far as the copyright goes. For one, we've actually talked to some people at Disney.
Well, that day we met the Imagineers for Toy Story Land, one thing that blew me away, they knew who we were. So I was like, okay, no big deal, it's fine.
They also did not care because we just send a bunch of people to their parks.
Yeah.
And so the copyright issues, and we don't just like directly copy what the parks are doing either.
No.
Right.
And that would also take, for me, what I was just going to say is like, copyright's not really an issue for me because it kind of takes the fun out of it. I don't want to just like copy something and make it. The fun is like creating, like taking Disney, the things that we love, and like creating a product that's cool and special to us and like is our interpretation of it, you know?
We try to never use character faces or anything like that. And even if we do something close to it, it's always an artist's interpretation of it.
Yeah.
You know, things are tweaked and different and stuff like that, but it's always 99% of the time it's never characters' faces or like a direct copy of like Mickey standing in an ear, you know, type deal.
Yeah. So we put a lot of thought into like each design and like what makes it special to us. And
we work about like actually a year ahead of time. We have all of next year's ears already like planned out and pretty much like designed out on paper already, like ready to be bought into like 2D. So it takes a lot of time to actually figure out how we can make these things not like stepping on Disney toes, but also being ahead of like the curve, what is going to be coming up this next year and stuff like that. Like, you know, Tron's going to be coming up and like Guardians of the Galaxy, things like that, that are going to be opening that people are going to want stuff for.
Right.
I mean, I remember the first version for Animal Kingdom, you guys came out with the tree that ended up looking like broccoli.
Dude, we
I remember that. And but now the one you have, and the fact the ones that you do have that have the tree, you know, having it not just be the tree, but you have the tree and then I believe a Jeep, right?
Yeah.
That's like a twofer.
Mhm.
And so incorporating it, making it look just, like you say, tweaked, improved, and constantly being like that perfectionist, I think it's very, very cool. And that I still think, honestly, one of my favorite ears, which I own, they're in a box somewhere because I moved, still, I think, is the Mickey wreath.
Oh, classics.
So I have to like go through boxes over the next week or two and find these ears that I have, and put them on the hat because I want to wear them to school.
Oh, love it.
That's
Those
awesome.
ears are a love-hate relationship because we've also evolved a lot over the last 5 years compared to like we used to hand print every single piece separately. So all those berries and those wreath ears, Phillip used to hand hammer those into the wreath, and now luckily we have technology.
So they were like because I didn't want to glue them because it made it like look weird, and so I made them a compression fit, and so literally like had to like hammer in each little berry like into the wreath. So, like
kind of. Oh no.
And now luckily we have printers that we can multicolor print everything together, and it's made life so much easier.
Yeah, and we get to be more creative too, which is fun.
Yep.
I think I've watched some of the lives that you've done, and I think what always struck me is just how much. I'll say it's less now, but I do definitely going back when you guys started, a stigma with working from home. Like, oh, you guys work from home, so late mornings, have a cup of coffee before you start, and I think especially before COVID, before people realized, no, that's not what working from home means. It just means, okay, you don't have traffic in the morning. That's about it.
That's about it.
I mean, but you were getting up at 4 some mornings or even earlier because they have to get done. And when the ears are done on the printer, you need to remove them and generate more. So how over that time, how much further has technology come? And are you still getting up at 4 a.m.?
Not as often. We luckily have bought more printers so we can keep up with the demand.
What do we have now? We've got what, 29?
Yeah, 29 printers right now.
Yeah.
And so our whole basement is nothing but printers. It's awesome. But yeah, I'm even after this later tonight, I'm gonna go down and switch prints because
we're also our last push.
I was gonna say we just hit
stuff.
Black Friday,
Right.
so it's a little crazy. But yeah, it's kind of hard to like separate like work and like normal life. Like we find most of the time it's a constant struggle, but we figure it out most of the time. Yeah.
We're trying. You get to sleep in more. We switched to a ready to ship format, which has helped a lot with Phillip. He's not up switching prints all the time. Now it's more like when people buy stuff, that's what we actually have printed and ready to go, rather than a print ahead of time type thing. So it's made life a lot easier for him this past year.
I mean, I was looking on even earlier today, and I was looking how you guys are on pause at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
All of your pre-orders will be shipped out on time in time for holiday trips, which is super appreciated. Because if you're someone like me, you like to be packed like super ahead of time, just to make sure you don't forget anything, purely for that reason. And also you're excited to go to the parks, but you also have your you'll be back operational and taking orders again on December 1st for pre-orders for what's coming out in January. And so I may or may not have done some window shopping today, and I was looking earlier, but I am aware that you guys are on pause. Yes. So I'm just gonna, So, but they're very creative. And I feel like when you look at ears that are in the park, and everybody has these ears, and everybody has, the ones from the park. So like it's like the CVS receipts attached to your ears. And I feel like the ones that you guys print are very much like what people, not that they don't enjoy the Disney ears, but because those are like that's a different thing. That's from Disney. Yeah. But these are kind of like the moments that you guys kind of pull for movies are the same ones that we pull. So like you were saying before, you printed those, the Buzz and Woody boots, and you were giving them that but that's something that like people enjoy. Like my kids were, my youngest was Buzz Lightyear a couple Halloweens ago. And so like, that's something that I would definitely get a pair of those. Like if that was 3D printed, just the boots in each ear, Absolutely, because that you know what I mean? Like that's something that's not directly from the parks movie, but it's something that's personal to each person. So I appreciate that your designs are definitely from a point of like something that you enjoy and a passion of yours, but it's also not from I mean, to a degree it is, but it's not a marketing standpoint. You're not trying to sell these to, I mean, you are trying to sell them, but you know what I mean? Like you have a different market. Yours is more personalized and more kind of to the heart, I guess, is what I'm saying. It's not just
commercial.
What's something that people, thank you. It's not what will people buy? It's this is something personal to us and we want them to buy it.
Well, we try to keep up on like what is popular as far as like if new stuff's coming out, you know, and that kind of stuff.
Because we've been sitting on Marvel and Guardians of the Galaxy for years now, and I'm like, we gotta wait till Cosmic Rewind comes out because that is gonna be like the best month to do it, and we're just sitting there like, but so stoked.
But we want it to be special for people, and like really kind of feel like if you own a pair of our ears, we want it to be special to you.
Right.
One of my favorite pairs of ears, weirdly enough, is actually our Cinderella ears, because I think it's just like one of the like best stories like told by Disney. And so if you look at, and most people actually don't even know this because I don't advertise it, but it's just fun things that I do in my designs. So like on one side, it's her carriage. And if anybody knows me, anything with wheels, I'm kind of a gearhead that way. So I was always fascinated by her carriage. And so in her carriage, there's like a silhouette of Cinderella, but in the windows on the side, they're printed in this almost see-through silver glitter color. And if you hold them up to the light, you'll actually see a key on one side that's hidden in the window, like only if you hold it up to the light. And then on the other side, there's music notes, because my favorite part of Cinderella is, for me anyways, how I interpret the movie is like all her little friends, and the music that's in it shows how she persevered through like honestly pretty tough times with like her parents and family and everything. And so like the music, her singing, her animal friends that helped bring her the key is like basically her persevering. And so like the music unlocks like her self-worth and like who she is. And so like that was a special part to me. So I made sure like I hid it like in the windows, so it was like a part of it.
Philip constantly is hiding stuff in our ears. Every single pair of ears, there's a hidden Mickey. On the back of the Disneyland castles, he put like Philip loves Dana like on the back that gets glued down. Like there's constantly
no one will see
hidden.
it.
No,
but
there's constantly stuff like hidden.
But it's there.
Yeah. Dana one day she was like when we were dating, you used to write me love notes all the time. She's like, I kind of miss that. And so like I changed our Disneyland castle to say Philip loves Dana on the back. And so every time she glues them together, she sees like the little love note every time. But
aww.
Yeah, man, that one.
All right, he wins.
a little bit of us goes into every single pair. Like, I mean, we design, print, ship everything, customer service, all in house. Like it's all done by us. So like we take every single order and every single like customer. Like we talk about it's our pineapple family. Like every single person like really is like our family members and stuff. And we meet people in the parks. It makes me so happy because it's just like either I'll know who they are by what years they have, or like I'll just remember their name by their order and stuff. And it's just like it's so cool to like actually meet like our little family in the parks now as we've gotten like bigger and stuff. It's just pretty fun. You good?
Well, one thing I definitely appreciate. So I have not had anything up here for many years. This has been bare since college.
You look like you did in boot camp. You look great.
You know, I was upset at boot camp because they hit the buzz, and I'm like, I get closer than that at home.
Yeah, right.
And then they made us wait 4 weeks to do it again, and I was like, I look like George Costanza. Can we please? It's someone. If I would have known that, I would have just been picking it every day.
Yeah.
But as someone who does not have, the fact that you have a hat option, I think is awesome. And I have a hat. Thank you. It's awesome. And it just opens up that options really for anyone, especially if you're there in the summer and it just the sun's bearing down on you. So I and you know what? It's not like it's not like a bulky hat. It's very, very comfortable, and so I'm a big switch. As a bald guy, on behalf of every other bald guy in the world, I do appreciate that particular option.
Oh, thanks.
We also appreciate. Yeah,
we also do. We let people send us hats. Like, so if you have like your favorite hat or like, you
a custom hat, people have like
sizes,
bigger heads, little heads.
We let people send us like hats.
We've done everything from like biker, like do-rags. We've done those before. We've done safari hats. We've done
big like
hats.
floppy beach hats.
Yeah, we've done everything.
Yeah.
What about the postman? Like would you wear it, Johnny?
No, I don't wear a normal postman hat like that.
I want him to get like the safari hat for postman. I can't think of the name of it.
Oh, the pith helmet?
The pith helmet's what we do.
Yeah, I want him to wear that because I think it'd be amazing. And I
just wear a baseball hat.
About to go all seller on you.
We'd pimp it out with Disney.
Sales pitch here. Have you ever worn one for one?
No, I have not.
It's amazing in Florida. Like, we started selling them. They're on our site.
I was a hater. I was like, no one's gonna buy this. It is not fashionable. It is not cool.
But my favorite is Animal Kingdom, and I was like, oh, come on, it'd be cool to have like a safari like pith helmet type. And so like I got one and wore it to the parks one day, and like the way it sits on your head like has like the strap, and then it sits off of your head, and it's like mesh, so it breathes so well. And in that Florida heat, it's the most comfortable hat to wear in the parks. I'm not gonna lie.
Bonus, if you're into pins, you can put pins through the little breathable holes. And
like pins all over the hat. Yeah,
we get people that deck them out pretty intensely. It's awesome.
They're my favorite.
Okay,
Johnny, I think you need to purchase one.
I may have to add to cart later.
It's a solid hat.
Johnny, you might have to order an extra for Lansing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys are funny. Oh. Yeah.
Can you imagine? You'd be the coolest mailman on your route.
No, I don't think so. I'm already the coolest mailman on my route. I don't need. Come on.
Are you a mailman?
I am, yeah.
Okay. On behalf of all smell businesses everywhere, thank you so much for all that you do. We would not be able to run our business like without you guys. Like, we adore our mailman. I give him like cookies every single day. So I'm sure this season is just like insane for you. So thank you for everything that you do.
Yes.
So far, it hasn't been where I am. It hasn't been too bad. Like last July was pretty bad when all this stuff started, and then that last Christmas. But this Christmas, I think, I mean, yeah, we have more packages, but I think a lot of people are shopping in stores this year because they can't.
Because the shipping is unreliable.
That whole whatever the postmaster's trying to do to the post office.
Everything's fine.
But no, we're
anyway.
I think since I've been there, we've kind of turned into like the package delivery service. So, hey, whatever.
Okay.
But
you guys are the MVPs.
Yes, thank you.
You guys are great. A lot of people crap on the USPS, but like we love you guys. So.
Oh yes. Hey, we're gonna get I appreciate the thank you from you because I haven't gotten one of those from my bosses ever. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Let me know who I need to write a strongly worded letter to.
Even through working all through COVID, we didn't even get one to thank you from any of our bosses. So I appreciate it.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. We've heard some stories from our mailman here recently.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like you don't realize, like growing up, like, oh, it's just the mailman. Then as you get older and you like order more packages and like mail becomes something like you need to be aware of and it's important. Like you become friends with your mail carriers. You know,
yep.
He has one woman who greets him with a freeze pop, like a little ice pops.
Yeah,
Freeze pop for the mailman.
It's awesome. Yeah. There's definitely cool people who, it's nice to see certain people every day and like. We're different than like the Amazon or the UPS. Like even just little things like I know these people mail those back here, but packages here. They like this stuff to be safe, and it's just it's weird, but it's cool.
Our mailman literally like has access to like our garage and house, and like if we're gone, he knows where to put stuff.
He's like an emergency contact on my cell phone.
Yeah,
he is. He actually, he knew the people that lived here before us, and so he was really sad to see that they moved. And so like you could tell when we moved in, he was kind of like, "Oh, what are you guys gonna be like?" You know. And now like we've just changed so much about the house. Every time like he shows up, if he has time, he's like, "Oh, how's the addition coming? You know, can I come back and see?" We're like, and so he's like
walking around our house.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But,
Man, New England is so different from the rest of the country.
yeah.
Disney needs to make a mailman character. They need to make a postal service character.
There's not one already? I feel like there should be one somewhere.
I feel like Goofy would make an hysterical mailman.
They take characters and put them in like certain ensembles to make them look, but there's no like specified like.
True.
Right.
In all the Disney here, there isn't. That's true. Strongly worded letter.
With the letters tonight.
I don't know. It's fine. I don't know.
Signed it best
For some reason.
Yeah.
No. You got to end it with "Good day." Good day, sir.
Oh gosh.
So now that we've
I
derailed,
can see we
your
derailed you
questions
again. I'm so
again.
sorry.
It's fine. You have two educators who are like, woo, off the rails. It's fine.
Yeah, my students are used to it by now. Is in each class is like one student who's designated as the "where was I" student, because I'll go, "Where were we?"
Yeah.
You know, where was it? Mr. Lanzi, we were at the legislative branch. Right. Cool. Anyways,
Let's go back to that.
go back to
It's
that.
always one kid like, all right, you're in charge of where I should be teaching. So when I realize I'm off topic, you're up. Yeah. There's always one.
There's always one. It's like they're like a helper.
Oh man.
You were not that kid.
Nope.
You were
I
not
barely
that
went to school.
kid. Yeah, no, you were not.
Oh, that's fine.
Neither of
It is
us
what it
went to college. It's fine.
Dude, I loved when the teacher went off topic. We would just sit there, continue to talk. We won't
Tell us
learn
how
anything
long
today.
ago we were.
You know, I have students that complain about it. Like literally,
We used to try to make we knew the things that would make our teacher go off. We just try to mention it, and then that's the rest of the class. Beautiful.
I was just gonna say, there's the one kid who gets me on topic, but I feel like there's also they rotate between like two or three of them. Who's gonna get me off topic for that day?
That was me. That
Yeah.
was me.
That was
100% you. You want to hear?
Fantastic. So you're probably sitting right up front in front of me.
Probably. I had a cousin, and we were the exact same age, and like we were good friends, but polar opposites. So she would sit, and I remember this in our history class. She really didn't like our history teacher, so she kept a notebook every day of how much time he actually talked about like the actual classwork and how much time he went off topic. And she like kept these detailed notes for like months, and then like went to the school board and like tried to get it fired.
That's so much work.
Not.
Yeah.
Little
And I was the one like sitting next to her. She's writing the notes and I'm the one distracting the teacher. You know, like like we're polar opposites, but like I was like, you're the worst. You can't do that.
I'll give her crap about that next time I see her. That's
Yeah, I do now too. But,
Next family reunion, it's on.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You're being that kid right now.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm
We're
doing
all
it.
that kid.
Sorry.
All right.
so actually, I'll an open-ended question, because we've talked a lot on this podcast about which ride we wish we could just refurb. Like, we like it, it just needs to be 100%. So I think the one that a constant one. I won't say Lilo and Stitch, because that's not. That's not a refurb. That's just complete demolish it and start over.
No.
But a big ride that ends up getting mentioned is Figment.
I was just gonna say that.
So I wanted to throw it to you and ask.
It is like a dang acid trip from the 80s up in there. It is. I took Phillip on that the first time, and he was like, "What just happened?"
Okay, yeah, and for me, you have to realize I have no nostalgia for any of these rides because I started going to Disney as an adult. And so we would go with people that are like, this is the most amazing thing ever. And I'm like, that sucks. And Disney should change that because it's old and crappy. And they're like, how did you say that? You know, like so mad at me. But I'm
The
like,
only redeeming quality is that they have pictures of Robin Williams.
yeah.
True. That is very true. People ask us to make Figment ears, and I'm like, nah.
I feel like so. And the other thing I feel like when it comes to Figment, either drop them or reinvest. Meaning you have Disney Plus come out with a show, some kind of cartoon for Figment, get kids talking about Figment, make it popular again, and then refurbish that ride completely. Either you reinvest and relaunch, or same thing with the Tiki Room. Get rid of it, please.
Stop it.
Sorry.
I think
We are keeping the Tiki Room.
I can only mention Tiki Room one time per podcast. So this is my one mentioning that Tiki.
So Lanzi is lucky. So normally one of our other hosts, Tim LeBeau, he has a soundboard and all the gadgets and doodads. And at least once a show, he'll just accidentally hit the button for the music, and that's it. We've derailed the whole show. But
you can hear the plastic clicking. Come on. I mean, if you're gonna do it well. It's not done well. That's the problem.
But at this point, is it vintage? And
No. Here's my thing. Walt Disney, I think if he came back to the parks right now, he'd actually be very disappointed that we haven't changed it. I think he'd be disappointed in a lot of rides and a lot of things that we kept for nostalgia and vintage sake. He would be like, wait, you have all this cool technology now at your fingertips? He's like, this is the best I could do with what I had. But now you have all this cool stuff. Why the hell haven't you changed it yet? Get rid of this crap and do it better.
All right, so I'll throw it back to you on this. Everything gets updated, revamped, etc. One ride, event, attraction, whatever, stays nostalgia as is. Clicky, kitschy, whatever it is. Even if that means reverting back. So if that means we keep Great Movie Ride, we get rid of Mickey and Minnie's for it. If that means we No. I want my Great Movie Ride. If that means we revert Journey into Imagination, we revert it to get the Dreamfinder back. What one item are you keeping nostalgic? We can revamp everything else. It's Disney. They have an unlimited budget.
That's actually a harder.
They only posted a $640 billion profit this year.
So you're saying that one ride that we would want to never change.
One attraction. Everything else can be updated or redone or repurposed or whatever. Only one can remain.
Great Movie Ride.
This is their answer.
This meeting's gonna end again.
Can we? Because I love Great Movie Ride.
Carousel.
Ooh.
The carousel behind the castle. It's the only thing that's you can't change that. Like, it's just fantastic and classic, and it's timeless. Everything else is outdated and needs to be changed.
I think he got us on that one, actually, guys.
I'm sorry.
So when you said carousel, I went, because I thought you were keeping Carousel of Progress, because we often just call that carousel.
Okay. Carousel of Progress, I actually think is really cool. I just think they need to add on to it.
Need to add years to it.
But if you think back, and we had a gentleman on our show from another podcast, if you listen to Disney Dad's podcast at all, he suggested if a ride we couldn't ride ever again, like it was closing forever, he would go on the carousel, because that was where Walt got his original idea and inspiration for the parks. He was watching his girls on the carousel. He was on a nearby park bench. And so I feel like maybe that one's a better choice other than the Carousel of Progress.
Please tune in next week for the third and final episode of our interview with Aloha Ears. And thanks for listening.